Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is One Accord Level 2 podcast. Hopefully everybody is blessed, safe, and well. Hope everybody's doing good. Many prayers for comfort, healing, strength, and peace to all those who need it. Um, hey, uh, be thankful about for where you are and where you're going. And be thankful that you came out of where you used to be and where you've been. Things could be much, much worse. God is the ultimate provider of your steps. He's the ultimate provider for everything that you do, the resources, all the different things that you have. However you're growing, however you're, uh, enabling your peace, your boundaries. Everything is everything when it comes to that. He is the author and flow. We have flow through him, and our being and everything. Sometimes you have to make sure that you're sure about the choices that you make. And sometimes when it comes to the future about making choices, I've always been the one to say, and I've always thought this way. I don't know why, but even as a child, I would rather do the hard stuff now so it can be easy for me later. I would rather make the self-sacrifices now so that later, when I am much, much older, I can sit, chill, relax, whatever the case may be. I've always thought that. But you just got to make sure that you are gonna rely on God for that, and as I say, do a thing. But a lot of us, some people don't think about making self-sacrifices now. They just think about, I have to, do whatever it is I'm doing. Well, sometimes you really do have to consider that. Would you rather struggle a little bit now so that you wouldn't later? I would rather all my deductions and all my things come out now, and I would rather get a handle on that now so that later that those doors can be open. Whether it's things that are seen or whether it's things that are unseen. Because, see, that's the other part about trusting God. It's about the stuff that you can't see. It's about the things that you can't, that you're not aware of. It's about the things that, oh, man, like I wasn't even thinking about. And it's not even necessarily about anything bad. Because, see, that's another thing. We have to stop always thinking about that. Now, do you have to consider things? Yes. Absolutely. It's a part of human nature. But also, too, you have to consider more things for your good. You have to get that in here. So, with that being said, what if you did? You made a lot of payments. You did this, did that. Sometimes those doors open later for the self-sacrifices for now. Whether you have children or whether you don't have children, it does not matter. Even if it's just for yourself. Those self-sacrifices plays that you make for now, they will help you for later. And I think people need to take a realization into that. What are you willing to do now for your later? What are you willing to do? Are you going to continue to meddle and, in I call it living in what if land? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to be like, you know what? I'll take a couple hits now so that later I can have my freedom in any area or financial freedom, whatever it is. I just believe that you should take the time out to do that because you just never know what's going to happen in the future. And, looking back on some things, it's like, hey, some people will be like, John, you're always working. You always, what I'm saying? Yeah, I have children. I got to provide for my kids, but John, you don't never. And guess what? There's a reason for that, though. So when you have your PTO time, when you have all those things and all those things come into play, you got to have something to fall back on. And had I been not so enclosed-minded with some things when I was younger, half the stuff that I have going right now wouldn't even exist. But it's just the fact of that's how you have to take the necessary steps to do a thing. And you have to be open-minded. You got to think, as my father used to say, outside the box. So it's going to be okay, though. If for any of you in the world making self-sacrifices, it's going to be all right, because it's going to be worth it in the end. And I've been telling people, a lot of these kids that's in the younger generation, even my own children, I'm like, hey, take care of what you need to take care of now while we're still living, while the world is still fuming at a high rate and, things are going on. Do what you need to do now so that when you get in your 30s and 40s, you don't have to work 2 jobs. And you can, kind of do a thing. You can have a life. And I'm like, I want you to travel. I want you to see the world. That's what I'm telling all these young cats. I'm telling everybody, travel and see the world, do a thing. Yeah, that's cool. Go ahead. But make your self-sacrifices now. Save what you can now if you can. And if not, create a world where you can create a savings plan for yourself, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Whether you have kids or you don't have no kids, you are going to need a self-sufficient savings plan for yourself. You are going to need that, point blank, period, straight facts. You're going to need it. And so you need to make sure that you do that for yourself. Whether you're traveling, whether you're not traveling, well, no matter what it is. Nobody wants to work hard for the rest of their life. You're going to have to make that change. You're going to have to make that self-sacrifice play for your wife, for your husband. Like I said, even if it's just for you, for your kids, it doesn't matter. You're going to need to save some money so that you can have something to fall back on, so that you do not have to do this system. The system wants you to work till you're 70, 75 years old and work till you're croak. Well, God wants you to live a long, productive, healthy life. And if you do that, and if you handle what you need to handle, guess what? You will achieve those goals. And you can do anything else that you want to do. So with that being said, make sure that you have a plan for your life. Make sure you have a savings plan and something that, like I said, that can give you a boost for later. And just do it. The amount of money that we spend on food, the amount of money that we spend on whatever, I mean, if you really think about it, it's 365 days out the year. You get 52 paychecks during the year. If you could save $20 a check, whatever the math is with that, that's a good amount of money. If you could save $50 a check, that's a good amount of money. You could save 100. You know the drill. Yeah, you get multiply. So, but are you willing to make that sacrifice play? So, like I said, I would rather sacrifice now for later. And later is always good, because my father used to say, save some money for a rainy day when you don't feel like going to work. When you don't feel like doing nothing. And you like, man, I want to get some ice cream, I want to get some food, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. Or even if you just don't want to do nothing, just be like, hey. And investing is also a beautiful thing. So invest smartly. Different companies, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what to do, and if not, get with somebody who's a guru who will help you with that, and invest your money wisely and properly. So that's my word of the day. Make your self-sacrifice plays for now, for later, so you can have a good flow in life. You wasn't meant to work for your whole life and to work 2 jobs for your whole life. You were meant to live and to be free and financially free and live in abundance. That's what God said, and we gonna stand by just that. This is Warner Core Level 2 Podcast. Be blessed, be safe, be well. I'll holler at you on the flip side. Peace out.